Just saying hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Your main host, Jeff Gross, is in Las Vegas. He has gone away. I got the call last second. Come in, host, come talk to us. And here we are, ready for the Super Million show. I'm excited to be here. This used to be my gig. I did 12 of these shows before they substituted the legendary Jeff Gross in. We wish him well. It is a solo adventure. Today's final table actually looks unbelievable. It's going through the list. Looks like we have some really solid pros. And here we go. Let's check out the action. Welcome, everybody, to the GG YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Martin, of course, the ex-host of this show. We had a good legendary run. I think I did 12 shows in a row, which also accounted for me losing a lot of money in prop bets. But here we are once again, Tuesday. This tournament is the best tournament on the internet. I still believe that to the core of my heart. And first place prize today going to be about $300,000. I was going through all these competitors, and I'm familiar with most of them as well. Right away, Agaris getting after it with the King 9 suited. Oh, we have Andres Nemeth in the big blind, defending off the pocket threes. Yes, good to see you all in the GG YouTube channel. I will be interacting with you all throughout the show today. Again, first place prize, $300,000. The buy-in of this tournament, the Super Millions, is $10K, $10,000 for the contestants that don't satellite in. This is a legendary tournament. Look at this, min bet. Whoa, already. We're having some spice on the turn. Threes, check call out of the big blind and just turn the nutted set. Now, King 9 of diamonds here is just stone dead. Do we use it as a bluff, though? Probably not, right? Probably not here on the turn. We bet flop. Yeah, check back and ooh, that could be a little trouble for the King 9. They make a pretty strong second pair on the river. It's Andres's world. We're just living in it. They have the set. What are they going to do with it? Turn goes check, check. I don't think we want to let our opponent check back hands like ace high, pocket sixes. We're going to go big for value, maybe a little block bet and deuce. We're just going to go chunky. Hey, let's go for that blockish kind of third size. And I think King 9 is going to think about it and just pay it off. And that's how our final table is getting underway. Yeah, we started the show there with a little mute. But we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you. This is, yeah, just block call. Makes a lot of sense. King 9, still alive, Agarist, but going to lose one there. Andres Nemeth, always a feisty competitor on the online poker field. I played with him a bunch this last May when I was grinding really hard. Seems like I was always at his table. We had some very fun hands together. Interesting dynamic. Let's take a look at the two players in the blinds here. I mean, look at the big blind. Termination, overwhelming chip leader. Andres about $1 million behind. And Leave Me Alone. Leave Me Alone, no fear, raising the 10-7 suited into the two big stacks. And I mean, most of the action is just going to happen around these big stacks. Bet, fold. Here we go. All these players have locked up $40,000. You can see there in the bottom, $12,000 ladder, then up to 67. If you want to get into the six-figure club, you need fifth or better. I love this tournament. I played this tournament multiple times in May. Did I become a champion? No, I did not, unfortunately. We had our chances. Hey, Elbow Falls in the chat. Great to see you. Three-piece meal came in. Good evening, folks. Is there any guests today? I'm telling you, they rang the phone. I mean, they told me to do the show last night. They gave me a little bit of warning based off of some chaos. I mean, the poker world's attention is, it seems like it's all kind of focused in on WSOP and the activities down at Bally's and the new venue there. I have a little bit of FOMO missing out on it. This is interesting. Marcelo, another big stack. Marcelo is a reg. Very feisty player. Tough to deal with. High stakes crusher. Now, Andres flats in position. Flops open-ended and the backdoor clubs. Checking, we betting. Probably some sort of mixed strategy here with Jack 10 of clubs. What up, Scotty Buckets? Ooh, wow. What a turn card. Check, bet, call. Marcelo has the nut one pair now, but look at this combo draw for Andres. Rebarreling with Jack 10 of clubs. This ace is definitely better for Marcelo's range. This is a fascinating turn card here. Does go for the big turn bet. Now, Marcelo, don't think we're raising here. That's going to be inflating the pot at a final table a little too much. Very happy to check call. That's probably what Marcelo is going to do. But you got to wonder, this card is better for Marcelo, and Andres is putting in a big bet. He has things like pocket fours, ace queen, queen nine suited, 9-9. These hands loom large. Marcelo in the bank. No way we're folding, right? Like, that's not an option. Seems like he's maybe considering it. I think call is the play, and I predict that is what we're about to see here. A fold would be shocking, but this is quite a bit of a tank here, actually. Andres Nemeth, high stakes crusher as well. Fun fact, every single player at this final table has over $1 million in cashes on GG Poker. There it is, as we predicted. Check call, and bam, that is the stone nuts for Andres on the river. Jack 10 has the nut straight here. Wow. Kind of somewhat disguised with the flush draws missing. I mean, Jack 10 is the only hand that gets there, but here it gets here in a big way. I mean, we could actually have a new chip leader after this pot. So we bet flop, we bet turn big. What size are we going on the river? Are we going pot? I think Andres with Jack 10 here is kind of the hand you want to go for a big size. Big 700K, anywhere from 700K to pot, I think is where Andres Nemeth is going to find his size. Wow, he finds the overbet. That was also an option. I mean, this is the definition of big. Now, if you're Marcelo, this is quite nasty. Clubs and diamonds brick. We have the ace of diamonds. Only a pure bluff catcher. What hands could our opponent have that could be bluffing? King Jack suited is there. King 10 suited. Those are kind of the intuitive ones. Maybe a hand like, I don't know. I mean, those are kind of the main ones that I would think about. Honestly, a really, really sick spot for ace king. Facing all this pressure. What do you think, you guys? What is Marcelo going to do here? Get it in the YouTube chat. Do you think he's calling? Do you think he's folding? I think he's annoyed, but I think he's going to fold. The pressure is so insane. There's multiple short stacks. If he calls here 1.3 million and is wrong, it's so devastating. Whereas if he folds, he's still perfectly fine. There it is. He does release. Annoying, but I mean, he will see the coverage later that he made a really good turn fold. And Andres Nemeth played that draw aggressively, got there with the nuts on the river, didn't get paid off. I think pot might have got paid off in that situation where the overbet made the fold. Came in. Everybody in the chat always is debating the commentary. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Some of you guys are giving me some love. I do appreciate that very much. As Chris Benoit, I recognize all these players. These are kind of the guys that I see a lot at the stakes I play as well. Chris Benoit here in the big blind with the ace 3 does find the reshove versus the chip leader. Definitely the correct play. Scary going all in there with ace 3, but when the chip leader is opening button, you're going to get a lot of folds. We're off, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see y'all. How's Jeff been doing? How's my boy Jeff been doing? Jeff Gross, of course, has been your main Super Millions host. He's doing a good job. I did 3 months of it, which I think was a big time success, and enjoyed it, but was able to kind of focus more on my own poker career recently with the lack of the Super Millions show. Interesting spot in the big blind. Ace 4 spade. 11 big blinds. I think we're going to be shoving. Yeah. Again, if we're going to find shoves at the final table, shoving versus the chip leader is often where we want to attack. A, the chip leader is open and wide. B, the chip leader is not really super incentivized to bust the short stacks. They're not going to be stretching to find calls in their range. So good shoves, couple good shoves versus the chip leader. Chris Benoit now. Pocket jacks, aka the jiggities, aka the J-bombs, aka the 4th best pair in the hand. The fish hooks. Just going to be a shove here for sure. No other way to play the jacks. And the short stacks gaining a little bit of power. Again, you can see all the players have locked up $40,000, 10K buy-in. bit of a smaller Super Millions field this week. Kind of expected. June historically is always a bit of a down month in terms of online poker. You know, May's the big series. We just had the GG Online Championships. So a little people want to break, people want to do something else. Summer, still a good prize pool here, of course, but you know, just based off of other months, June always recedes a little bit in terms of tournament numbers, but then it usually picks back up in July and August. Nemeth going to get after it here with the suited king. Kmart, are you in Vegas? I am not in Vegas. I'm going down to Vegas for the main event, which I recently won my WSOP main event ticket. I'm very excited about that. And this is fascinating. Look at this. Jamil is a reg I battle with a lot, and they're finding a really nice bluff candidate here. They go for it. Now, pocket tens behind on the button is in a bit of a situation. You know you have no fold equity, right? Like Jamil makes it 230,000. Yeah, not surprised to see the tens fold. We can see that tens would have smashed ace 10 there, but without fold equity, I think tens is a good fold there, honestly. I think we go with jacks, probably fold tens. It's probably that close. You can see the tens hit the muck. Andres Nemeth, a lot of the action going to come from him. The only other hand available here is Mark on the button. Could mix in some 3-bets, but I think flat is going to be the primary option. Let me get a retweet out on Twitter. Top for Mark. 300K in the middle. These two players did pick up the big blind. The Ray guy there completely whiffs. I think with ace queen, it's a hand you don't want to mess around with. You want to immediately seek value, protection. Not that ace queen needs a ton of protection, but you are multi-way. Denying equity, getting chips in the middle with a strong hand. These are all good things that it's going to lead Mark towards a bet. Now Andres here with ace king. Ace king offsuit has given many headaches to poker players. Me and my community, we've been debating this hand a lot. Look at this. Look at this. Check and then check raises ace of diamonds, king of spades. This is kind of nasty. Not going to work. Mark is for sure going to peel, but Mark has to be uncomfortable here. The question is, what does Andres do with aces and kings on the flop? Are they betting or check raising? The answer is probably some sort of mix. Like sometimes they'll bet, sometimes they'll check raise. Mark has just a massive hand here, but cannot feel comfortable. Andres is kind of repping a hand like aces, kings, ace, queen. I mean, he could check raise some hands like king, jack, jack 10 as well. Fascinating turn. Does give up. Looks like the ace king is just going to wave the white flag. Now Mark just over pot behind. Just over pot behind. Final table spots, always so interesting. You are incentivized to accumulate chips, go for the win, but the looming ICM factor is always there. Wow, checks. Does this let Andres bluff now? This turn, this river card might be one that Andres wants to follow through in. In theory, could have king 10 that check raises flop, checks turn. 10-8 suited is there. Maybe a hand like jack 9 suited messed around on the flop. Stretching a little bit for a few of these hands, but this is a card that I would be tempted to shove as the chip leader. Let's see if Andres does it. He does not. Waves the white flag. Thought maybe that jack of clubs provided a bluff opportunity. Andres disagrees. Now, if you're Mark, you're pretty sure you have the best hand, but it's really hard to get called by worse. Because like queen 10 probably doesn't check raise flop. King queen might not even check raise flop. When Andres check raises, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that check back. Makes a lot of sense. Very interesting hand. I thought maybe there was going to be some blood on the Turner River there, but they kind of chilled out. And Mark scoops a very, very valuable pot. Elbow Falls in the chat. James Cordero, good to see you all. Somebody says, I just joined Kmart. Can you summarize the final table so far? Well, you joined at a good time. This is the Super Millions final table show on the GG YouTube channel. 300K up top. Top 9. All 9 of these players you would consider experienced. I don't know if they're full-time pros, but I recognize all these players, and they're super killers. These guys are good. They all have over 1 million in cashes on GG Poker. Check out this hand. Raise 3-bet. Now, if we're going to 4-bet shove, this is a candidate. And by a candidate, I mean like the candidate for the 4-bet shove. Let's see if Jamil Wakil uses this hand with some spice on it. Chris Benoit 3-bets the ace queen. Every time I have ace 5 suited, I'm super tempted to 4-bet. What do they say? Ace 5 suited is the new ace king. Just thinking about it. Oh, it just releases. You could tell he was thinking 4-bet, but he decided just to resist the temptation. And we have our first look at the pocket rockets here today. The red aces. Mark wins that nice hand with ace queen. Everybody who used the GG Poker final table betting mechanic to bet on Mark have to be happy with this start. This brings me back to my time as a host here on the Super Million Show and me just constantly losing prop bets every single week. It was actually just so sick. Defend King 7. Not going to get carried away here, I don't think. You guys remember how just every single week I invited a guest on, we made some sort of bet and I just got punished week after week? I think I went 1-6. I think I won 1 bet and lost 6 bets through my time as the Super Millions host. Small bet fold. Maddie says, Kevin, when are we going to see you in a Super Millions final table? I hope so, my friend. I played the Super Millions 3 times in May. In May, I was grinding really hard during the GG Online Championships. I played 3 10Ks, satellited into a couple of them. Tough tournaments, man. There's some good players out there. I ran up some stacks, but never could get that full run to the final table. One day it will happen, absolutely. Here we're going to see a blind-on-blind battle between 2 of the more experienced and bigger stacks. Termination, finding a raise, ace 4, spade, spade. Andres Nemeth just releases. We're often going, a couple of short stacks do exist, but a lot of people in that 1.4 million range, 1.7 million range. I went to go retweet GG Poker, but I don't even think GG Poker sent out a tweet about this broadcast. Don't even think we got a GG Poker tweet. That's okay. Maybe they'll throw one out. Wow, ace deuce, that is wide. Leave me alone. I've played with them and they are aggro, and this confirms that ace deuce in the cutoff is not supposed to be an open, and they kind of get punished for it by Andres, who immediately 3-bets the queen 10. You know, maybe if you have some soft players in the blinds and the button, you can raise that hand in the cutoff, but like you have Nemeth, Termination, and Jamil. I would not open ace deuce off in the cutoff there. Would not mess around with it. And top 5 to make the 6-figure club. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. Leave me alone. Let's get some info on Leave me alone. Leave me alone is a WSOP bracelet winner. This is a back-to-back final table for them. Maybe that's why they raised the ace deuce. It was a little bit of a heat check. They have had back-to-back Super Million final tables, which is super nasty. Leave me alone. 5 million in cashes on GG Poker. Wow. The Ray guy finds the ladies. And now, interesting spot for Marcelo. This hand feels close facing the shove. Wow, quick fold. Very impressive. I think a lot of players say, oh, you can have ace king, you can have ace queen. Marcelo just like quickly snap mucks the 9s there, which is pretty pretty impressive. Jason Parker says, welcome back, Kevin. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you. Notice Jamil just mucking the sixes there. I like that. Mistake that a lot of weaker players make at final tables is they overvalue the small pairs. They get carried away with sixes, fives. Those hands go down in value at final tables when ICM looms large. Chris Benoit finding a 3-bet bluff. Wow. Leave me alone is a spicy poker player. They not only call, they just snap called the 3-bet with ace-8 of hearts. Just taking it to the streets. This is advantage Chris Benoit. Ooh, checks. Turns the jack. Now, Leave Me Alone has a hand, yeah, just probably going to give up. The main thing here is Leave Me Alone does not have ace-king in their range. They have ace-king, they likely shove pre-flop. So the absence of ace-king is a problem for their range. I think this is all over in this hand. I mean, excuse me. I guess they have a double gut shot to the 9, but Leave Me Alone is just that. I mean, both the pre-flop call and the turn call are just kind of wild and slightly out of control. But I love that. I love when like a high stakes reg is just, you know, just goes for it. That was a very light turn peel and costly as Chris Benoit picks up some chips. That was spicy. Both, there was 2 calls in that hand that were just as wide can be. Raise, ace queen suited, gonna dunk it. No blood yet. It's always nice at a big final table when you get that first ladder, you get that first elimination, you can settle in a little bit. Andres Nemeth going to find the open here. Queen 10 off, usually not a hand you want to go with under the gun. Oh my goodness. Both players flop trip 10s. This is trouble. There is some chop opportunities. Obviously, Leave Me Alone can win with a 9. But we might have our first elimination right here, right now. This is an old-fashioned no-limit hold'em cooler. If they were 90 bigs deep, I mean, maybe it's not going in, but Leave Me Alone is short. This is going to be painful. Just pot to play, shoves it in, snap calls. It's all in. A 9 to win. There's some chops. 4 would chop, king would chop, big river card. Ace. Oh, ace is a chop as well. I forgot to name that one. Wow. Leave Me Alone gifted new life at this final table on that river card. Wow. And a very appropriate emoji. Man, the other players have to be a little upset about that, especially like Agorist off the short stack was looking for the ladder. Leave Me Alone finds mercy with the ace of diamonds. Now look at this. Now they flop a flush and they're going for the slow play. Check calls the flop flush. Wow. Is that going to work? No, it does not get a bluff. Leave Me Alone, man. I like their vibe. I like their energy. They're, you know, some of these hands have not been super refined from them so far, but again, I've never made a Super Millions final table. I'm not going to critique them too hard, but they're bringing the spice. Now, Leave Me Alone is, yeah, there's the all in. You just know ace 5 suited, there's going to be some sort of money going in the middle. And this is bad news, though it's not that bad. I don't think a single ace was mucked. I don't think a single ace was folded. Ace five suited, super alive here. Give him an ace. I'm supposed to be unbiased. Give Leave Me Alone an ace. Runs right into the queens. An ace and an ace only. Does the ace of diamonds come again? It does not. Leave Me Alone. GG. Tap the table. Our first elimination. Wow. They came in trying to win this thing. And I'm sad they are gone. I am sad they are gone. GG. 40,000. Again, that's back-to-back Super Millions final tables. Very impressive. They came in with some fire. Did not work out for them. They are gone. Very good games. All players receive a ladder, as we are guaranteed at $52,000. And that means termination. What a spot there. A raise, a big shove. And when you have queens there, you know that shove is never aces or kings. You absolutely have the effective nuts. Termination. Let's get some info on termination. They came in as the chip leader. Crusher, it looks like. Second Super Millions final table. Over $1 million in earnings. Ooh. Goes for the power shove, the ICM power shove. And Chris Benoit, this is not a snap call at a final table. This is wild. I'm not an ICM professional, but this seems like right on the line. Seems like ace king, we snap it in. Ace jack, I would consider folding. We're going to go with it though, right? Like the thing here is while we do face some hands like 9-10 suited and small pairs, we see a lot of this. We see ace X, we see a hand like maybe king queen. Like we are crushing this shove-in range with ace queen. Chris Benoit, I think we just like side call, go for the double up, but we'll see. We'll see. It's 30 blinds, 30 big blind shove. Does put it in. And what a spot for Chris Benoit. Just has to fade. Ace 3 offsuit. Ooh, that deuce scared me. Those low cards coming out are worrisome for Chris. Just 3 outs. Safe. And that is a huge, huge shift in equity at this final table. Chris Benoit is close to the chip lead, just like that. Chris Benoit came in as one of the shorter stacks. They came in 8th of the final 9. And just like that, they're close to the chip lead. My goodness. Yeah, very close spot there with ace queen offsuit. If the poker nerds in the chat got out the old ICMizer and ran the actual calculation, I would be curious on the output. I would say ace jack folds and ace king like fist pump calls and ace queen calls, but ace queen probably doesn't make as much money as we think there. That would be my estimation. Wow, termination. Still chip leading, but that was a big shift. I get the shove with ace 3, trying to provide pressure. With ace 3 there, you're definitely going to get ace 10 to fold. You're probably going to get ace jack to fold. So like you're not getting called very often. You kind of just ran into it a little bit unlucky. So already we're having some really interesting final table hands here. If you guys are joining us, welcome. My name is Kevin Martin. I'm your sub. Your former full-time host that is now subbing for the full-time host, that is Jeff Gross, who is in Vegas doing Jeff Gross things. Mr. Namath picks up the kings. Ooh. Ace, small, small. Tell you what, I think king is going to find a check here. Probably. Got him. Now we have jack 10 of spades, jack high. We might want to bluff this turn. This turn is good for big blind. We have hands like 6-3 suited, 8-6 off. Are we bluffing? Yes. Marcelo is on the same wavelength as me. Now kings with the club, kind of nasty here, honestly. Probably calling turn. Evaluating river, but we're not enjoying it. Just folds. And I'm actually, I kind of understand it as well. Way to go. Jack high getting the 2 kings to muck. In that spot, when the turn is good for the big blind and we call in position, we are going to face a lot of heat on the river. And kings, I would have called kings. I would have probably peeled, but I wouldn't have loved it. But I'm not shocked to see the fold either. That's my thoughts on that hand. Somebody in the chat says, how you doing, Kevin? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. Haven't played a ton of poker in June. I had a really, really nice May, though. For those of you who are following my journeys live streaming my poker career, I had a really nice May. I ran really good and crushed somewhat hard, so that was very exciting. And 3 hands here. Wow, this could be interesting. Is the Ray guy all in? They are second shortest, but I mean, Beth Harmon over there, Egarist is super short. Yeah, 6s are going to shove. This is fascinating. And now Ace Jack suited is in a really weird spot. Where again, I just think it's right near the line. Like, I think if we have Ace 10 suited, we're folding. I think we have Ace Queen suited, we're going with it. Ace Jack does go for it. And we're going to see a big flip here. Big flip for the Ray guy and Andres Nemeth. Safe so far for the 6-6. Oh, huge turn card for Nemeth. River. Safe. Wow. GG to the Ray guy, our 8th place finisher. $52,000. You want to be good, you got to win your all-ins, guys. You got to win your all-ins. Nemeth is your new tournament chip leader. Wow, big flip there. Now he's going to use that luck to his advantage and find a raise, takes it down. Nemeth is a scary player. I went deep in a 1K recently, and we were battling with Nemeth at the final table, and he's spicy. He's good. Marcelo, good to see you. Edward in the chat. Jason Parker as well. What up, Kmart? And Adam. How you doing, Adam? Good to see you. Now, the big blind is short. Very, very short. I think we're just all in with 9s. And then what can you do with Jack 7 suited? I think you got to gamble. Yeah. Bad news, though. You're probably hoping to flip or be like 40%, but you're definitely dominated here. Just a Jack. Okay. People are falling. Blood is being spilt. Good game. Agorists came in as the stone shortest. So they got 2 ladders. They can't be too disappointed. When you come in 9th and you get 7th, it's like, okay, at least I got a couple ladders. Very good games. And just like that, we are going at a frenetic pace. Chat, is frenetic a word? Is frenetic a word? We're going at a frenetic pace. Chat, can you get out the dictionary? I just used the word frenetic confidently, and I'm not sure if that is a word. Anyway, we are 6-handed. $85,000 guaranteed. Next ladder is the 6-figure club. I have no guest with me to gamble on, but if I had to gamble right now, I would probably bet on Nemeth getting the job done. But God, Chris Benoit is good. I mean, they're all 6 of these guys. These guys are all like, these final 6 are all high stakes pros for sure. Okay, it is a word. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Appreciate that. Nemeth bets turn small, gets a call from the inferior king queen. River's scary. Feels like a block situation, right? We going for 180,000, 160,000. Seems like one of these 25% bets out of position here. Checks. The power of Andres growing. Nearing 4 million there. Okay, so final six. Fun fact, chat. ICM has lowered now. Everyone says, oh, everyone intuitively thinks, oh, we're final six. The jumps are huge. This is when ICM is massive. ICM peaks when you're final 8 to final 13. That's when ICM is at its absolute maximum. Once you get down to 6, it is still there, of course, but it lowers. It lowers. Chris Benoit bluffing here. Jeff is in Vegas. Some very exciting stuff happening with GGPoker and Jeff Gross. I don't think I want to leak anything prematurely, but there's some very exciting developments going on with Jeff Gross. Look at that. Chris Benoit getting the better hand to fold with the 3-bet bluff. Final 6 action. Man, I just always want to make this final table so badly. This final table, I always want to make this final table so badly. Jamil is our tournament short stack. Are we check raising deuce 4 here? Termination. It's one of these hands where you have bottom pair. You are going to continue. Often, oh my God, am I dialed in, chat? Am I dialed in? How am I not at this tournament, dude? I feel like I know what's going on with these guys now. Dodging, waving, finding. I mean, me calling the check raise here with the deuce 4 of spades. That's pretty nasty, actually. That's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick find. Wow, ace 10 peels. This is a fascinating hand. Bet, check raise from the deuce 4 of spades, call. Now this turn, definitely favors Jamil's range. We're just checking. We are. So why did the deuce 4 check raise flop? It's a hand we want to continue, but calling is not very good. And while I loved the flop check raise, I think this hand is over. I think this hand is all done. Yeah. Man, it's nice to be back here, chat. From January to March, I was the full-time host of this show. I was the full-time host. And I think we had fun. I think we had fun. Jamil is either going to defend or 3-bet bluff is an option with this hand. We can either defend or we can make it chat. I'm in the matrix right now. Why watch the show when I can just predict what people are going to do? Now, Andres has a really tough hand here. When you open button, you really don't want to fold too much to 3-bets. But you also like, yeah, he peels. Wow. So we're playing a 3-bet pot here. Oh, Jamil disconnects. It's because he's from Canada and the internet in his igloo is not always consistent. He's back. Tough spot here. Now, this king high board favors the big blind 3-betted range. But you also have a shit hand. Like you 3-bet bluffed this hand, right? No prediction here for me. Let's just watch this one play out. What's going to happen? Just over pot remaining. I predict Andres is going to win this hand. Shove seems pretty good. Call also seems fine. Shove feels really good. You get a bunch of ace highs to fold. Yeah, shove makes a lot of sense. And Nemeth is just the GOAT. Makes so much sense to shove there because while Jamil is the shortest, ICM still applies to them, and they can't really like bet call super happy with a bunch of stuff. And then even if you get called, you have a nice draw with Queen Jack. So I love that line from Nemeth. And here comes the pressure. All aboard the pressure chain. You give Nemeth a chip lead like this, he's going to find all the 3-bet bluffs. 4.4 million. Hey, Kmart, Maxwell, the question, how do you feel like hosting these final tables helps you since you're talking through strategies and scenarios? Yeah, in terms of if you're just getting into poker, these are fantastic resources to see how these good players play certain hands in certain situations. It's also fun for me to like try to predict their sizings and stuff and really try to get into their poker brains as well. Because, I mean, in my poker career, I do want to get to the level where I can play this tournament regularly, right? I want to insert myself among these folks. So it is enjoyable. Now, I do enjoy playing poker in like, you know, a little bit more, of course. Oh, this is interesting. Chris Benoit with the queens. Oh, just flats. Kind of makes sense. He's in second. 3-bet getting it in with queens versus the chip leader. Scary. Just calls and wow. Buckle up. We could have some scenarios play out here. Nines, I think, are done with the hand. I don't think they're going to put any more money in the middle. But our two opponents we need to pay attention to are the queens on the button and obviously the nut flush draw in the big blind. So there's a bet. Now, what does Marcelo do? Range-wise, Marcelo doesn't have a super strong range on this board, but they have a sexy hand. Nut flush draw. Just calls. Nines are out. They're never calling. They're folding. Yes. So if we're Chris, I think we're actually quite comfortable facing that check call. I think a lot of like the two pairs, like if Marcelo has sixes or Jack 10, I think they're just check raising flop. So I think we're betting turn and we're going to size up, right, Chris? 340,000 is my prediction. 340,000. Big turn size incoming. Especially after just flatting pre. Okay, let's go for the turn bet. Goes a little smaller, goes 260. Now, ace four suited. This is fascinating. Like, what do we do here with ace four suited? I don't know, man. Raise doesn't make a lot of sense because we just check call flop. I guess we call. Oh, spikes the ace. This river is going check, check, and Chris is going to be slightly disgusted. You know, you're hunting the diamond. We forgot about the 3 outs of the ace on the river. Yeah, check, check. Nice hand for Marcelo there. Chris going to be okay, but got to be a little frustrated. That was a big pot. 6-handed play. All these players are pretty deep, honestly. Short stack is Jamil. It's 23 bigs. And again, we see another pretty big pair just flatting the button. You see this happen at final tables around this stack depth where your 3-bet get in range just becomes tighter. Like if this was the start of the tournament, I guarantee you Mark is going to 3-bet stack off tens there. But at the final table, it's not really that exciting. Like if you 3-bet and get it in versus ace queen, it's kind of a disaster. So what you see happen with the range here is like the value range gets condensed, and instead of 3-bet getting in like tens plus, you're basically 3-bet getting in like queens plus, and you're flat in some more hands. Now, Chris with trips. And thank you guys for joining us here on the GG YouTube channel. I got called in last minute. I woke up this morning and I looked outside. The Batman signal was on. I said, okay, I can, Got to answer the call of duty, of course. And here I am with you to a winner. Aces full for Chris. Loses with queens, wins with the ace 3 suited. The button flat in the big pair. It didn't work out for either of those last two hands. I appreciate it, Elbow Falls. It's interesting when I first started, when I was the full-time host of the show, people kind of chat. Can I say shit? Can I say shit on this YouTube channel? I think I can. People kind of they didn't like me at first, but hey, and then I leave. If you hang around long enough as the villain, you can potentially become the hero. What's up, Dan, Johnny? Good to see y'all. Nemeth on the button is going to open every suited hand in the situation for sure. 6-9 suited is not only not the bottom, it's like going to be a fist pump snap open for the chip leader here. Now Jamil again. Oh, does peel. Okay. Does peel the 4 deuce. And I have faith that Andres is going to win this hand with this open-ended straight draw. That's third. Tough spot for 4 deuce of hearts here. You are the shortest, but again, there is value in staying alive. Some people, I was talking to people the other day, and somebody was like, hey, I was the shortest at the final table, so there's no ICM. Again, that is complete fiction, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you were the shortest, ICM has a less effect on you, but it is there. It is present. Some people think I have to go for it in the short stack, and very often that leads them into making careless plays. Now, check call king. My first instinct is that we just always want to barrel here. But we do have a hand that if we get check shoved on is really nasty. But yeah, we see the barrel from Nemeth, who this is just going to work, right? Yeah. 9 high, like a boss, Will Kasuf style. Nemeth is good, skilled, sharp, aggressive. All these words apply to him. What a massive animal he is. 4.5 million, Super Millions final table. You can just dream of having this stack on this tournament. Chris Benoit going to dunk this one all in. Ace-5 offsuit shines in blind-on-blind scenarios like this. Oh, thanks, Johnny. Malanga, I appreciate you. If you guys are enjoying the show, do me a favor. Hit the like, guys. We don't even have 100 likes yet. We need 29 of you to smash the Marcelo. Wow. Look at the power of the chip lead. You're 3-betting and just getting Jack 10 suited to fold. It's a beautiful thing to have all that power. King 10 slam dunk open. Now, if you're Jamil, you really have to consider shoving this hand against the chip leader who's going to be opening wide. Just mucks. Can anybody find the right hand, maybe make a move at the right time? Is anybody going to challenge Nemeth for this title? Wow, that is an open. Termination finding the ace-8 off open into the chip leader. This is a little bit wider than the book suggests, but I kind of like it. That's an aggressive open. Medium connected flop, 3rd pair top kicker. Probably checks. Nemeth just not going to bluff here. It makes sense. Nemeth has so many like straight draws and good stuff to bluff from the big blind. 5-4 off here. No club is like kind of absolute dust. So just going to check, give up. Cole, yes, your commentary is very helpful. Thank you. I'm taking notes. Well, hey, you should follow my YouTube channel. You should follow my Twitch channel. I'm a full-time content producer. Hey, we just hit 100 likes just like that. Thank you to the 29 of you who snap hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, if you're liking my stuff, I full-time stream and I full-time make YouTube videos. Make sure you look up my channels. Coming off a big month, man. I'm fired up, dude. In May, I played $170,000 worth of tournaments. In terms of buy-ins, I had my biggest month ever. I bought in for 170,000 in 1 month USD. Came out a winner. We cashed for about 230, so we made 60K in poker profit just in May, which is one of my better months. Do you see my smile, chat? You see my glow? This is called the Run Good glow. Coming off a big month, putting up W's. That's why I'm in a good mood. Neiman 10-6. Just power poker here for the chip leader. Checks that flop. I cannot believe. Okay, I understand it maybe a little bit more because Jamil's short. I still don't get the check though. I think like the one big blind C bet's just going to do so good. But he goes for the delayed line here. Definitely betting turn, right? We're always betting turn. How could we check 10 high twice? Okay, yeah, not going to happen. Boom. So the C bet was a little delayed there, but effective. They're almost up to 5 million. King 8 cutoff. Yes, we're going to see opens like this. Okay, Jamil is going to shove this. A6 suited, right? I mean, what other reshove spot could we wait for? Cutoff open. We know they're going wide. This has to go in. There it is. That's going to be a nice pickup for Jamil. When you're the short stack, you really do want to weaponize your shoves versus that wide chip leader open. Thanks, man. Dan says, are you going to WCP at all? I am going for the main event, first week of July, and the GG party. GG party and the WSP main event going down the first week of July. Okay, some playable hands here. This is a double up opportunity for Jamil. 16 bigs. Sure, he was debating whether to just shove or min raise. Marcelo. Just thinking if what ace jack of diamonds is going to do here. Oh, why am I thinking about what ace jack of diamonds is going to do when I completely did not consider that Marcelo leads here? I love it. I love it. What a nice find. Usually big blind is not going to lead on boards like this all that often with the disconnected deuce. Wow. This is a fun hand. Lead call. Wow. River, sorry, turn queen. This is a crazy hand. Oh. Leads the queen 10. Jamil peels correctly, but hates this turn card. Oh, peels again. Wow. Just a non-believer here in position, putting his opponent on a hand like 5-4, 6-9, 8-9. River, deuce of hearts. Does Marcelo now check? It's pretty thin to go for value now with queen 10 of spades. Are we checking? Are we block betting? I don't think we're shoving. It would be really thin to shove, especially with the backdoor flush coming in. I mean, your opponent raised off the short stack, has called you twice. Man, if he finds a shove here, that would be kind of impressive. What an interesting hand. This whole hand, we went down a path I was not expecting to go down, and it started with the flop lead. And this is where we're at here. Leads flop, leads turn, and now we're seeing an interesting river spot. Checks, yeah, that's kind of now Jameel Walker's just gonna check because he's just hoping to beat, 8 high, 9 high. Jameel has other hands to bluff, I'm sure. Yeah, just checks. Nice hand from Marcelo. Somebody is sitting in the chat. Why are you surprised that big blind led? Because that flop, usually if all three cards are connected, that's where you see the lead come in a little more. Like 7-6 deuce was kind of disconnected, but it was a very nice lead. There you see our three players that have fallen. Let me alone. The Ray guy, GG's to them. And here we are at the final six. The final six. It's all about Mr. Nemeth right now, crushing this final table. Still a ways to go, though. Chris, you're not opening this, Chris. Surely not. Still pretty deep. I mean, Marcelo has 50 bigs. Chris has 50 bigs. I love the raise first in here from the chip leader. Yeah, absolutely love it. I love this dynamic. These guys are all, I believe, high-level pros, all over $1 million in cashes on GG Poker, experienced. I've played a lot with all these guys, maybe not as much termination, but I've played with Nemeth, Marcelo, Mark, Chris Benoit, Jameel. These guys are good at poker. Look at Nemeth really getting after it. 7-8 off in the cutoff. I love it. Man, being a chip leader at the final table is so fun. You get to raise 7-8 offsuit in the cutoff. It sounds just like a heavenly thing. Okay, a real hand. Black nines. Whenever I see 9 of spades, 9 of clubs, I always think of Phil Hellmuth with his Walkman beating Johnny Chan. And what was that? The 89 main event? That's what I always think of. Chris with his squeeze candidate here just decides to muck. Now Marcelo has to hate their spot here, right? You raise King Jack, you get flattened by the chip leader, the one guy you don't want to play with. You see a board that's very bad for your range. Not surprised to see the check from King Jack offsuit. Nemeth bets, and he's the chip collector. Crushing, slowly accumulating. It's what dreams are made of. We saw termination raise ace-8 off in a worse spot, so we're definitely going to see them open this. Fun, man. Watching some high-stakes poker. Thank y'all for joining me on the GG YouTube channel. Someone's asking if I'm playing poker right now. Not really. I've actually just kind of been in the lab recently. Not playing a ton myself. May was insane. I played 12, not 12 hours every day, but a lot of days I was playing 11, 12 hours. I grinded really hard in May. So excited with the big month I had. It's like such a breakout month for me. It was very exciting. Okay, c-bet ace-8, king-5 check calls. Now it's an interesting spot for termination here. Like versus the big blind, we know we almost always have the best hand, but it's really tough to get called for 3 streets. Like if we bet turn and river, it gets really thin. So I'm excited to see what they do here. Yeah, check is not a surprise. And this is a horrible, horrible card for Marcelo. Harder to worry about an ace now, but it is there. Termination has trips. And I think we go pot. We definitely bet big, but how big is the question? I would say close to pot, 400,000. Well, termination thought different, went for half, got snap called, scoops up a nice pot. Interesting. Termination is a better player than me. I would love to ask them. Can we get them on the post game? GG producers, can we get him on the post game interview here? I would love to know why he went half pot there. I'm sure he has reason, but it surprised me. Look at this, Marcelo. Ooh. Raises, flops a piece, but look at the chip later. Pair plus flush draw. When you're playing no limit hold'em and you flop a pair and a flush draw, it is like walking into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. The door is open and the whole world, you start thinking differently in your brain. That is a sick turn card. That is a sick turn card. They both make two pair, but Marcelo has Nemeth crushed right now. Holy shit. This is exactly what Nemeth did not want to see. He's been accumulating slowly, and this is a cooler. Still has the draw to a flush, obviously. Could hit a 3. Are we shoving turn with 6-3 clubs? Are we calling? Both seem very fine to me. There's the shove. Wow. Wow. Marcelo doesn't snap call either. Nemeth 100 thinks he has the best head. He's going to be shocked to see two pair. Okay. Needs a club or a 3. Big river. Oh, that is sick. Oh my goodness. What a hand that is. Marcelo gets destroyed by the river flush. A bad beat there. My, oh my. Good game to Marcelo. A cruel exit for $85,000, and we're to the top 5. That was a crazy hand. Somebody was getting cooler there. Blind on blind, 2 pair versus 2 pair, but the flush comes in for Nemeth. Play good, run good. Holy smokes. Nasty. And now the other players like that because they get a ladder. They're all excited. But I mean, Nemeth is going to be hard to stop. Who is going to stop the Nemeth train now with 7 million? Unbelievable. Wow. Okay. He was getting after it before, but 8-4 offsuit. 8-4 offsuit in the cutoff. What he is saying here is that he is going to basically try to play every hand in this intense chip distribution. And why not? If you're raising with 8-4 and taking down the blinds. Wow. So right now, Chris Benoit and Termination are probably in chill mode. They're not looking to get involved with, Jamil being short, Mark being short. Final 5, all these guys in the 6-figure club. 6-figure score. It's got to feel good. It's only happened to me once in my entire career, a 6-figure score. Oh, Nemeth is going to 3-bet here. I guarantee it. Well, I don't guarantee it, but he's just going to 3-bet. You just know. There it is, 400K. He has the right hand and he has the right situation. And when those two things connect, Nemeth is not going to pass on it. 3-bets the king 6 offsuit. And it's just going to work. We have a feeling like we're getting bullied, but what can Chris Benoit do? 4-bet? No. Flat? No, it's just not an option. We just have to fold. Excuse me. Excuse me, the 4-bet bluff in position. You got to love that. Now, what does Nemeth do? Are we just are we getting into the super? Like, could the 5-bet shove ever happen? Could the 5-bet shove ever happen? No, surely not. A 5-bet with king 6 offsuit? Shut the front door. Is he thinking about it? Oh my God. Why do I think he's going to do it? This is crazy. Oh my goodness. The show is over. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. My job is done. The man just fucking 5-bet bluffed king 6 offsuit. I'm out of here. What can I say? I literally am leaving the building. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I mean, Jesus Lordy, bro. That is that. Can you do him like that? Are you allowed to do that in No Limit Hold'em? Are you allowed to just 5-bet shove the king 6 off? Holy Toledo, my goodness. I mean, what a display. That is sick. Both the 4-bet is super nasty, and both the 5-bet shove is like, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Oh, sorry, production team. I think I messed up the format here. What a hand. What a hand. That was just nasty. I need to actually compose myself. I need to take a deep breath. Oh. I'm actually rattled. I'm actually rattled that I saw that hand. Raise, 3-bet bluff, 4-bet bluff, 5-bet shove bluff. Like, that is unbelievable. What a hand. Again, apologies to my production team who I completely messed up the format of this video. All right. Wow. Let's compose ourselves. Nemeth does double up Jamil. Nemeth is naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty individual. There's so many levels there too. Like, because the 3-betting range is polarized, the 4-bet range should flat some traps. So the 4-bet range does seem a little suspicious, and he just read it. He just read it like a book. Super sick. What a hand. What a player. All right, we move on. Blinds are 30-60. I really enjoy that. Me too. Me too, man. I haven't seen a pre-flop bluff like that in a long time. Now, the situation is just so extreme. Andres Nemeth has more than all the other stacks combined. He's going to open 100% of hands on this button. Queen 10 defending. And now, normally this wouldn't be a great flop for the button, but Nemeth's range is so wide here. He probably has like 4-7 suited, 5-3 suited. So in a normal poker situation, the button wouldn't do great on this board, but this is not a normal poker situation because Nemeth has like 100% of hands. It's fascinating. Nice to get the old poker brain turned on this morning and break down some of this action with all you. How are these players going to respond? And to somebody who doesn't watch poker, who, like, let's say you come from like basketball, you're an NBA fan, you find this poker broadcast, you're like, why aren't the other players fighting? Like, why aren't the other players fighting back more? Well, the answer is ladders and real money at stake. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Here's Chris with the 3-bet bluff. Are we going down the rabbit hole again? Okay. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we just had the raise 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet bluff. You just don't know when we're going to go down the rabbit hole. Do we go for the king deuce? Wow, this is extreme. Extreme opening ranges here. So yeah, to finish that point, why are people not fighting back more? It's just because if you survive, you make money. There is a real immediate dollar value on the value of staying alive. You can see the payouts in the bottom right. So whoever gets eliminated gets 109K. If you survive that, you literally make $30,000. So you want to fight with the correct hands in the certain situations, but you also want to survive. Look at that. Ace-4 suited just mucking. The rich grow richer. Crazy. I mean, if anybody's going to rally here, it's probably going to be from Termination or Chris Benoit. Jamil just mucked the Ace-4 suited, so I'd be surprised to see the Ace-3 suited play. Yeah, it just folds. Now, Nemeth is absolutely, look at that, deuce 3 offsuit. It's like the worst hand you can find in the game. He's just finding the raise. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful display of Andres Nemeth. Absolutely big dick in this final table and just bossing everybody around. There's the shove. This is beautiful power poker. Chat, if it is anyone crying in the chat just from You know, when you look at something beautiful, whether it be a landscape, maybe a nice picture, maybe a painting, maybe the mountains, and a little tear starts to form in your eye when your brain is overwhelmed by just the raw power and beauty of something. If any of you guys are crying in the chat right now, I understand. Let it flow. Let the tears flow. This is really a beautiful display we're watching right now. Chris Benoit. Going to muck here with the threes. What a final table. Guys, do me another favor. If you were here and you're enjoying the show, oh, Chris Benoit calls. Unbelievable. I was not expecting that. And that's bad news. That's bad news. It was a 9 big blind shove, so I guess it wasn't a huge shove. Wasn't expecting threes to call here. And wow, double up for Mark. Double up for Mark. Yeah, I'm confused as well. Chris, that might have been a blunder. Again, Chris is better at poker than I am, but I would not consider calling there with the threes. Oh, wow. We have a hand where Nemeth is not involved. Guys, take a second. Smash the thumbs up. Let's get to 200 likes. We're almost at 1,000 viewers. Can we get this puppy to two? Did I say 2,000 likes? That's a little bit aggressive. Let's go 200 likes. Drop a 0. 200 likes, please. Support the cause. Drop that thumbs up. Takes an extra second. It means a lot to us here on the GG YouTube channel. And Nemeth is just going to play this. He's just using all of his hands as a raise blind on blind. Because termination is the one he can pressure the most. Chris is short. Mark is short. Uh-oh. Well, Jamil could have a double up spot here. I think, okay. Nemeth could easily have shoved there on the button, but just going to play the raise. And he's going to be able to get away from it now when Jamil shoves. Hey, can you start a giveaway? The only giveaway today is the free content and humor I'm providing, which I know it's not very valuable, right? No giveaway today. Again, I wasn't even booked to do this show. Jeff Gross, the full-time host of the Super Millions, was booked. They called me last minute to substitute in. Look at that. Fives just hitting the muck. Chris Benoit finds the shove. I love it. What's the buy-in? This is the Super Millions show. This tournament runs every week on GG Poker. The buy-in is $10,000. $10,000. Nemeth. We've seen some wire-to-wire final table performances on the show before, but this, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen one as dominating as this. I think Mark is going to open shove. If he had a little bit of a stronger hand, he might limp trap, but yeah, ace-7 going to be the shove. Thank you, guys. We got up to 200 likes just like that. Yeah, like the video for that 5-bet bluff shove. Yeah, Nemeth just going to bluff here. That's not really a bluff with king 8, but he's going to raise. Oh, shoves. I like it. This is savage. Is he allowed to do these people like this? He is taking a massive dump on this final table right now, and I'm loving it. Chef says, GG, bring Kevin to the WSOP. I am going to the WSOP. And I actually won my main event seat on GG Poker the other day. True story. You see those, if you're playing on GG, you see the road to Vegas's all the time. Uh-oh, this is dangerous. Nemeth with an actual hand. Uh-oh. And termination. I know he doesn't want to get involved. This is so sick. Oh my goodness. Top set. Nemeth's range is so unlimited here. The fact he has top set is a bit of a joke. It really is. And termination has the nut flush draw. I think termination wants to keep this pot small. with the other players being much shorter. So I expect just a call on the button here. Turn 5. Wow. Neiman's going to bet 400K. 400K, chat. That's what he's going to go for. That's the size that makes sense here. Goes a little bit bigger. $532. We just call. We have the nut flush draw. We're ahead of some bluffs. You know, we're not loving it. Can you imagine the 4 of clubs or the 5 of clubs? That would be sick. Oh, wow. Top set, no good. Termination makes the nuts. What a river. And if you're Nemeth, you're sitting here with top set. You hate the river card, but there's less than pot behind. Wow. Termination is just going to get a double up here, right? Like, how does Nemeth get away from this? He's either going to shove for value or he's going to check call it off. I don't see how you could escape. What a river. Yeah, shove, snap. Well, just like that, things can turn in a heartbeat. That is an unbelievably sick hand with the sick river. And I've kind of, what is this in my heart? I feel like a little bit sad for Nemeth just getting screwed there after dominating so hard. Termination back in the game with 4.6 million. Mark's going to shove here. And the runaway train is halted. Still the chip leader, but that is a big shift in momentum. For the first time, we see another stack in the ballpark of Nemeth's stack. How does he adjust? It just calls here. Wow, another spot where both players have big hands. Big flush draw for king 9 of diamonds. Nemeth's just calling. We're not check raising ace 10 here. I think he does play check raises, but more like a polar strategy. Yeah, he just check calls. That makes sense. Big blind wants to check raise like really good hands, like 2 pairs and sets and straights, and then like selective bluffs. But ace 10 is not going to be a check raise there. Okay, so he check calls as predicted. King 9 turns the king with the flush draw. Feels like a check back, and Andres has the check mark. Gonna go for some value, right? Probably to a smallish size. Seems like a good spot to block bet. 160K, 180K. Goes bigger. Goes 360. So my last couple of predictions in terms of the bets have been correct, but the sizes have been a little off. Now, king 9, we have 2 diamonds. Having the 9 of diamonds is pretty bad as a bluff catcher. Yeah, just folds, just folds. So Nemeth loses that huge pot, but he wins a nice one there. Gets back up to 6 million. And wow, we're playing 5-handed poker. Look, ace jack, queen, 9-9, ace jack. And king 7 is not exactly like regs either. Wow. Spicy dealer. Jamil's all in. Chris Benoit is going to shove. And then I assume Mark and Nemeth are going to fold. Those are some serious, serious hands. Okay, wow. Well, we know an ace is dead. Jamil, life on the line. Chris Benoit with the honeys, the mamacitas. That turn is going to lock it up. GG's to Jamil. 5th place finisher, $109,000. Good showing, 6-figure score. And we're 4-handed. My goodness. We are 4-handed. 140K guaranteed. It'll be an exciting finish down to the end. Someone says, Kmart, did you recover from May? I did. Yeah, I was exhausted at the end of May. Again, I streamed and played almost 10 to 12 hours every day. Had some days off, but I went really hard. Definitely the hardest I've ever grinded online poker for sure. Have I recovered? Yes, I have. I have. Feel much better. Got some rest. Got to hang out with the wifey a little bit. I'm excited to get back in the poker arena soon. What have you been doing? Been studying. Heads up. I had an amazing May. I won a bunch of money, but it could have been more just because I lost every heads up match. And it was time to learn how to play heads up. So that's what I've been doing. The GG nuts. If you guys play on GG Poker regularly, you've probably made the observation that sevens are really nutted on this website. I don't know why. I always seem to flop sets with sevens. I win my flips with pocket sevens. Sevens are officially the GG nuts. All right, 4 stacks remain. There's a clear pecking order here as well. Address is number 1. Termination's number 2. Chris Benoit's number 3. And Mark is number 4. All fighting for the first place prize of $300K. Chad, who do you guys got? If you had to pick a horse right here, right now. I mean, my heart says Nemeth. But Chris Benoit, I think Chris Benoit's the dark horse here. Ooh, the nuts for Nemeth. Flats out of the small blind. Flops the nuts and decides to lead. This is crazy. I played a crazy hand versus Nemeth deep in a 1K where he led small blind. This is giving me throwbacks. Nemeth loves leading out of the small blind. Turn king, he hates that card. No longer has the nuts, losing to ace jack. Does Chris Benoit find a bluff here? Are we, like, how could our hand be good? You know, we have an ace that blocks ace jack. Chris, are we bluffing? I don't think it would work on the turn. We can see that Nemeth has a straight. In terms of fun, I love it. It goes for a small bet. This is so fascinating. I'd just be so tempted to go for all the way with a bluff here with ace 9. What happened there, chat? What happened to that hand? Wow, we're going backwards. Whoa, what's that? Did you see how fast that timer was going? Wow, we were time warping there, chat. Did you see that? What happened to the king jack hand? That was such a fascinating spot where Benoit was bluffing into the straight. We'll never know, I guess. We'll never know. That was a crazy time warp. Okay, we'll pick up the action here. So what's going on there is the show uses a dynamic delay where we just skip the breaks, and sometimes accidents happen. All right, we're picking up the action here. What happened with that hand? I'm not sure. Too much fun. Yo, thank you for all those likes coming in. We hit officially 1,000 viewers on the channel. Things you love to see. All right, back to the schedule here. Oh my, kings for Nemeth. This ain't live. It is live with the dynamic delay. It is live with the dynamic delay. So what happens is it's on like a 50-minute delay, but then we just actively skip the breaks to save you guys time. We don't want you guys to sit through a stupid break. And so we actually end the stream about on a half-an-hour delay. It's dynamic delay. Shout out to Jason Somerville, my good buddy, Jake Carver, one of the godfathers of poker content. He was the original creator of the dynamic delay because he hated breaks so much as an audience member. Bad news for Mark here. I think Mark is going to shove this hand. There it is. Termination is going to snap. King Jack, scary amount of live equity here. Big pot. Are we down to three-handed? Are we down to three-handed? King Jack needs to hit. Backdoor. Ooh. Paint. Any paint card is a winner for Mark. Is it paint? It's not paint. It is not paint. It is a deuce. Good game to Mark. Amazing showing. Chris Benoit just saw the King 6 bluff. Good game. Mark is a crusher. He wins 140,000 and we are three-handed. That's funny. Chris Benoit obviously just saw the King 6 5-bet bluff. All right. Three-handed, you guys. Every player is locked up 180K. We're playing to a winner. Now, these stacks are all somewhat close. Going to be interesting to see how these players fight versus Nemeth. Lines are about to go up to 50K, 100K as well. That was the hand of all hands. And if you guys are just joining us, welcome to see this exciting conclusion. I saw a hand earlier that rocked. I'm still like slightly faint. I almost passed out. I almost fainted when he shoved the King 6 off. So while there's still pressure to be applied, there is far less, right? Three-handed ICM is pretty chill, honestly. Termination checks. Peels the King 5 here. You can see the VPIPs. So you guys see the little numbers by the players' names. That is the percentage of hands they have played. VPIP, voluntarily put in pot. And see, Andres Nemeth has played 40% of hands. You love to see it. Ooh. 3 of hearts on the turn? Surely not. That would be too crazy, right? I think Nemeth was looking to bluff some runouts, but I think the ace of hearts, he's going to chill. Unless, I mean, he is a creative cookie. I expect the turn check to come in. Like, let's say the turn was a 10, a jack, a queen, an 8. He could get creative, but yeah, he's just going to yield, you know. Chris has king, no kicker. Checking or blocking both seem like valid options. There is the block bet. God, Chris Benoit is really sick as well. Here are our results so far. Some good showings. But the stars of the final table have definitely been these 3. You know, who remembers third place? Who remembers bronze? Like, think back to like the Beijing Olympics. Name a bronze medalist. I can't. Try to name a gold medalist. A couple come to the forefront of the brain, but you got to win. Got to win these tournaments. You don't want to get third, second. Gold is just the ultimate color. And appreciate you guys for being here very much. Line on blind battle here. Both pick up 4th pair. Check, check. Ship it, Chris. Yeah, Michael Phelps. How many gold medals did Michael Phelps win? Top 3, baby. Yeah, every player locking up 180K. Very impressive. 1 second left on the break here. See, dynamic delay. We just skipped through 5 minutes of sitting here. Picking up the action. Nemeth has jumped. Oh, we're going back. I've never played poker backwards. Did you see? Did you see how the turn card was down there, and then the dealer took away the turn card? I've never seen that before. Look, we're legit going in backwards. Look, how are we going in reverse time right now? Shout out to the production team in Korea. They do a great job. Slightly on the struggle bus today, but that's all right. It happens. Okay, we're going in the correct timeline now. We're moving forward. There we go. That would be a wild format. Reverse poker. You start with 5 cards. You bet you take the card away. All right, here we go. Going towards the future. So Nemeth with the lead here. Yep, blind on blind. Ace king high. You got to stick around. I think Nemeth has a good sense that his 8 is definitely the best hand here. It would be impressive if he could find a big sized value bet here. Yes, he does. So many players would go small for value. Even weak players might just check, not aware of where they're at. But Nemeth knows he's clearly good here. Goes for over half pot. Does he get the call from ace king? This would be a big, big win for Nemeth here, 3-handed. Does get the call from ace high. And that is a huge pot. Excellently played from Nemeth as he's back to the top of his chip leader throne. My, oh my, great value from the 8. These two, Chris Benoit, 40 bigs, termination, 30 bigs. Still very much in the hunt, but class value. I think Nemeth is one of those players that is so crazy and does so many unconventional things, like the king 6, obviously, that I think the man gets paid off more than he should sometimes. What's up, Yoshi, Elbow Falls, Pillow, Open Fold. Good to see y'all, Brian. Jack high. We bluffing Jack high. These blind on blind spots. I've been working on heads up, and it's kind of the same world as blind on blind. Very tough to master. Blind on blind, you're playing such wide ranges. You're playing card combos that are very uncomfortable. I think a lot of players struggle in blind on blind spots. Chris does bluff here with the jack high. I think a lot of players would lazily just check, but he realizes that jack high is no good and is now bluffing. Now, what does king high do? You have the nut king high. You have king queen. Wow, look at that. I get that might not make the TSN highlight reel, but that is a play that just really impresses me. Where again, in a lot of small $20 tournaments, the jack high is just going to snap check. Oh, I have jack high, maybe we win. But he was super aware of where he was at, turns the jack high into a bluff, and gets the superior king queen to fold. As a poker player, I mean, that's not going to make the top. That will not make the highlight show, but that is a very impressive play to me. It really is. Super class. Three-handed battle. Nemeth just slightly under 7 million. Termination falling behind. Kevin, we need you back on Twitch. Don't worry, I will be live streaming again soon. Just been working on a variety of other things. Both players have a deuce here blind on blind. Straight now for Chris Benoit. Guys, are there any wrestling fans in the chat? I believe Chris Benoit was a famous Canadian wrestler who, unfortunately, his story had a very sad ending, but I believe he was like a legendary Canadian wrestler in the 90s. I have a lot of friends who are big wrestling fans. It wasn't really ever my thing. Pressure here. Nemeth. Yeah, Chris Benoit still wants to fight for the lead, but also doesn't want to get third here. Yeah. What up, Dio Force? Good to see you. Straight for Nemeth. What a huge flop. Probably got to peel with the pair of nines. I think here, if you're Nemeth, you have a nice straight board is as wet could be. Double flush draw. We're just going to go for big bet, right? 400K. 450. Oh, over bet. Yeah. Chris Benoit was the cross-face crippler. All right, I gotta look this up. What's a cross-face crippler? Oh, that's nasty. That looks painful. The cross-face crippler. Wow. He essentially puts his face on his wrestling opponent's head and cranks. Ouch. Those guys are tough, those wrestlers, man. Very much prefer the life of poker. Shoving with ace three. That being said, I actually did receive a paper cut at my last live tournament. You see that right there, chat? Termination, going to shove here. And Nemeth is going to have a really close spot, actually. Raises the button. Termination is definitely all in. Nemeth has kind of a close spot. He puts it in. Big flip. Are we heads up? Ace 10 versus pocket eights. Ace. 2 outs for termination. He says good game. Puts the backpack on. Is it an 8? It is not an 8. Good game to termination. An amazing showing. $180,000. GG, third place bronze medal. What a great showing. And we are heads up, ladies and gentlemen. Out of all the players at this final table, these are the two that impressed me the most. So kind of fitting that they are heads up and battling. Wow, big 2-to-1 advantage for Nemeth. Let's play some heads up poker. Hey, this is exactly what I've just been studying. I feel like I can actually offer some insight now on heads up. Thank you, Chris, for your concern. Yes, I did take a paper cut right there. You can see it's red. They say us poker players are not athletes, but look at this. Injured. It's right there. It hurts. But I'm willing to give my body up for the great game of poker. I am willing to make the sacrifices mentally and physically to get the job done. Wes, how many entrants? Prize pool seems a little low for 10K. June, again, is kind of a month where the fields are smaller. Every month in online poker, if you follow field sizes, June, I mean, still a pretty big tournament, but it is, because May is the online championships. Everybody fires away, and then people are a little tired. People are resting in June. Heads up, baby. Chris Benoit does have a bit of a hill to climb. Nemeth raises 5-8 suited. Peels the 3-bet. Okay, this is, again, exactly all June. I haven't been playing any poker, but I've been researching heads up poker. I feel, heads up is crazy. Heads up is crazy. Anything can happen. Raise king 8. Both players flop a pair. What do you think? Is Chris Benoit gonna bring this rally back? It's off to a good start here, heads up. Making a big pair with his opponent making a smaller pair. Yeah, we're going to go for value here. The king alone is so powerful. We have that additional gut shot. Imagine we're going for some value, big size. Chat is sharing concern over my injury. I'll be okay. I'm tough. Tough spot for Nemeth here. Like, you don't want to overfold heads up. You also have a hand that doesn't really improve on many rivers. Does call. And now Benoit. It's gotten a little bit thin, but we still do have top pair. I would be tempted to go for half pot here, 900K. So many hands like 10-9, Jack-9, Queen-10. Wouldn't be shocked to see a check either, but half pot, 900K. He goes for value, 1.2 million. It's a really nice bet. We have a heads up battle. So both players should be using min raises and limps as a strategy. A lot of people just use a min raise heads up with their entire range, and I think that's a bit of a mistake. Crazy thing about heads up is we could be here for a long time, or it could be over at any second. Blinds are up. Yes, again, chat is worried about my paper cut. I'll be okay, you guys. I'll be okay. I do have a GoFundMe page set up, exclamation GoFundMe in the chat. If you guys want to support my recovery process mentally, physically, you can financially support me there. So I would really appreciate that as well. Just throwing it out there. Physiotherapy is, I've been undergoing some physiotherapy. Nemeth with the queen 6. Heads up, you do not want to over bluff just because you have so many bad hands so often. You got to bluff sometimes. Does go for it. I do not think this is going to work. That's $1 million. Nemeth calls. Nemeth. Andras is his name. And he is off to a big lead now, 3-1, but pocket aces. Exactly what Chris was looking for. We haven't seen aces too much at this final table. Oh, limp calls, flops middle pair. 8-6 could get in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, this is nasty. The check. This is crazy. So Chris raises pre-flop, but checks the flop, sets the trap. Now here comes the bet. Big size is coming. 650,000. Could be even a little bit bigger. 700K, something in that region. 650,000 was pretty damn close, my original guess. Now Nemeth is definitely calling after checking the flop. An 8 or a 6, it could be all over. It could be all over on this river. I don't know how aces get away here. This could be it. Aces goes for the slow play, and it might be the last hand of the entire tournament. Chris Benoit. Nemeth is all in here. Nemeth is going to shove. If they're bluffing, they're going to go all in. If they have value with an 8, they're going to go all in. So they're going to think about it. They're going to put all the chips in. And I don't know how Chris could fold. Production, make sure the band is on standby because this is probably the last dance. Now, Chris is not going to snap. He is aware that Andres has a ton of 8x. How can you fold this hand? He cannot. He calls. And that's it, folks. Chris Benoit, GG silver medal, but the star of the final table, without a doubt, is Andres Nemeth. $295,000. The title, the glory. Boy, did he play like an absolute. He played like a possessed individual today. He really did. It was an absolute class showing. And that's it. GG's. June 14th, we have a Super Millions champion. His name is Mr. Nemeth. Wow, what a fun final table. Absolute class. I thought Chris and Nemeth played the best, with Nemeth just being an absolute baller. Again, if you just joined us, go back, check out the King 6 offhand. One of the craziest hands I've ever seen at a final table, but GG's to all the finishers. 10K Super Millions, it's the best tournament on GG, man. I want to be at this final table one day. Thank you guys all for watching. Before you head out the door, please smash the like button. Can we get to 300 likes? We need 60 of you. Smash the like button. You know, I showed up last minute. Jeff Gross called me. Jeff's in Vegas partying it up, doing things with GG Poker. I needed to come in and be the sub today, and I really enjoyed it. You guys behaved yourself. And yeah, it officially, school is over for the day. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you sub to the GG YouTube channel. And also, I mean, I'm putting out some good content. My Twitch stream, my YouTube channel, some really good videos on my YouTube channel if you're looking for some more poker content. Again, my name is Kevin Martin. Shout out to the production team in Korea. Y'all killed it. And I'm off for the day. That's it for me. Nemeth, you're just too good, man. Congratulations. I can't wait till we can battle again. I wish you all a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you next time. Much love. Peace, everybody. Bye-bye.